Good evening. This is Lavender Card Tarot. Tonight we are doing a reading of Marilyn Monroe and possible narcissism that was surrounding her in her life. This is my first actual video doing an energy reading with the actual person. She's giving me her blessing. Her first card was Secret Love. And as we know, there were many people in Marilyn's life that loved and adored her. She's giving me a feeling of two men in her life. She's not giving me names at this point in time that were fighting over her in private. And she said that she was in great denial over this. She didn't want to accept that these two were fighting. They were also both narcissists. She's coming in pretty loud and clear. She's saying that they were brothers. Now, for the safety of this video, I'm not going to divulge any names, dates, or places. I will say that they were in a high realm. There's a hierarchy involved. They weren't quite royalty, but they were pretty much close to it. They were both narcissist in nature and both very married. She believed in divine love with one of them. There were two brothers, as we've already said. She believed that one of them was her true love. Now, she had been married a few times. I'm getting a strong feeling that her very first marriage to James Daughtery. Now, we can give... Oh, there's one that came out right there. James Daughtery was her first husband, and she was absolutely in love with him in the very beginning. But she said, she just gave me a message that her and James really didn't work out, not because he was a bad person or not because he was a narcissist. He wasn't. He was actually a young man that went into the military, and she really didn't want him to go. I feel a very huge aching vibe right now. She almost felt like he was almost her best friend. And when he went away to join the military, it was like almost that she was completely lost. She felt like her and James were more like roommates than they were actual husband and wife. Like they were roommates and best friends. And I get the fact from this card, I'm getting a big adventure feeling. Marilyn wanted to see the world. She was passionate. She was adventurous. She was very religious. She identified with a certain faith, a certain Christian faith, one of the Abrahamic faiths. I get a huge feeling right now that she's still, even in her spirit world right now, she's still very much attached to this faith. I get a huge, overwhelming feeling of love and safety and security right now from her and her religious beliefs. Now, we're not here to approve or deny of any type of religion. I'm just going by what she is giving to me at this point in time. And she actually asked if I would get a baby Jesus today for her reading, to bless her reading. So we're going to put the baby right there. Again, this is not a religious reading. This is a request that she gave to me earlier this evening. So I went out and I found one. And she's asking me to draw a card about her childhood. She says there was a narcissist in her childhood, and to see if, she said her memory right now is a little tired because it's evening, but she's asking me if we can come up with the answer for her. Okay, so I get the feeling that there may have been a situation in her past where she was treated. I'm getting, this is like an animal card, and it's not that she is an animal herself. That's not what hold on. So I apologize. She's saying right now that she was treated like a pet as a child, that she was everybody's little toy. Like she was this, sweet little girl, and everybody that came into contact with her never treated her like she was completely human. She just gave me a message about her mom, and she's asking me to talk about her mother. Give me just a second on this. I'm not clear on this. Okay. So her mother was very gregarious, very happy-go-lucky, very adventurous, but she was also unbridled. Marilyn just gave me a message that her mother also had a problem with alcohol, and there was quite a bit of drinking and carousing that was going on. And I have a feeling that there was some abusive situation. She's trying to say the word mama to me as though it's coming in like almost like someone's yelling the name mama. Like it's almost like she's begging to talk to her mom, or she's begging for a motherly type of connection. And her mother would always give her little pet names, like little cute names. I'm not getting the feeling of what the pet names were, but again, she was abused by this woman. She was also, okay, hold on. She just said she was in an orphanage for a while, growing up, and there was someone there that was cruel. There was a man. Okay, she's not giving me a name on this man, but I get a feeling he was like either maybe one of the owners of the orphanage, or maybe somebody that took her away. I feel she's giving me a very dark feeling right now that he basically, it's almost like he dropped her off in the middle of nowhere. I don't know what that part means. I'm sorry, Marilyn. I'm really trying. This is my first energy reading with Miss Monroe. So I apologize. I'm not sure who the man is connected with the orphanage. I don't know if it was a caretaker that dropped her off, or if maybe he brought her somewhere and abandoned her. I'm not clear on that, and she's not giving me any more information. But also, in accordance with this man card right here, there's a lot of heartbreak. So, and I'm feeling that this is like a childhood heartbreak. This is a man that she may have known, maybe was a part of her childhood and or part of her life in the orphanage, because I believe she was given away a couple of times in her past as a child, and whatever this man did caused extreme heartbreak for her. I almost feel like I get the abandonment. Maybe he might have been a teacher, a caretaker, something like that. And now she's saying the word husband. She's saying the word husband to me. It's coming in loud and clear. And again, I'm not sure which husband, because she's not giving me names. She's saying, she's saying that, again, she wanted adventure, she wanted travel. I'm getting that feeling. And there was a husband of hers, she just said the word Japan, that she was supposed to do some kind of a concert. I'm feeling music. She is saying music loud and clear. She was supposed to do something, I think in Japan, or maybe it was China. I feel it was a big Asian country. She was supposed to like sing for troops, possibly something for the war. And she was married at the time, and this particular husband did not want her going on the trip. I'm feeling that there were many explosive arguments with this particular person. She said judgment. She just said judgment. There was a lot of judgment for her wanting to go on this particular trip and to perform. And he basically thought it was ridiculous. He thought that her costumes, her hair, her makeup was ridiculous. He felt like she was, what is the word she just said? Hold on, I couldn't hear her. She said there was a lot of like animosity. She just said animosity. He felt as though everything that she was doing was against him. And all she was begging for was love and acceptance. That's the feeling I get right now. I feel extreme sadness because I believe that this particular husband, she really did love, and she wanted things to work. She said that she tried seduction, she tried pleasing him, she tried everything she could. She tried to be the housewife when she was home. But the problem is her career took her to different places, took her to premieres. She also did a lot of acting classes and music classes and singing. And she said that took up a lot of her time. And whenever she was home, she was trying desperately to be the housewife that he wanted her to be. And she said she tried. I get, there's another card that just wants to jump out. Hold on. She so badly wanted it to work out with him. But she also wanted freedom. She just said she felt like a butterfly with its wings clipped, that no matter how high she wanted to fly, he was always cutting her wings. And she's saying it's like verbal. There were a lot of name calling from him. She said there was a movie that she made. Hold on, Marilyn, I'm trying to hear you. Okay, she said there was a movie that she made, and he was there. He saw a scene and got mad, and he stormed away. And she said she felt like at that point in time, everything was rosy. I can't believe I pulled this card, but she literally just said rosy as soon as I pulled that card. That everything was coming up roses was her phrase just now. She felt like they were on a good path. Yes, they still had some fights. And also she said he left roses, flowers on her grave up until he died. So, but at that point in time, I get the big rose feeling right now, that she wanted everything to be beautiful. She wanted to garden. She wanted to write poetry. That's coming through loud and clear. She said that something that nobody knows about her was that she used to keep journals, like on little scraps of paper, and that this particular husband of hers, the one that left the flowers on her grave, would get angry anytime that she would read a book or anytime she would write on scraps of paper. He would get into explosive fits of rage because he felt like that she should be in the kitchen cooking, cleaning, organizing, being a wife. And I also get the feeling that there was a child involved that was not hers. So let's explore that. She's saying that this was a non-narcissist, that this was not her child. She says she remembers him fondly. Let's see what that's about. Yeah, she said that she wanted to be his mother, that it was almost like a possessive love because she wanted a baby so badly. And it was a pure love that she had for this child. I believe this may have been the husband that she married, may have been his son or daughter. I'm getting a strong feeling that it was a son. And she was fully committed to this man with the roses. Okay, so these three cards are very important. We've got the commitment card, we've got the flowers, and we've got the possessive love. She wanted the all-encompassing love, but she also wanted the freedom to be herself. She wanted the freedom to be able to live and to love and to act and to sing and to dance and to write poetry and to attend classes. What's that, Marilyn? Hold on. She's saying something about she wishes that she'd learned another language. She said at one point in time, this narcissistic husband that she had, she expressed wanting to learn different languages, and he got very upset with that. I'm getting hold on, what is this card? This is, again, she was rejected when she was trying to express the part of broadening her knowledge. She was a student of life. That's the vibe I'm getting right now. She's saying student, languages. I was begging him to let me study, to let me have quiet time when I wasn't on the movie set, when I wasn't busy, just giving me a little bit of time to learn new things. I believe she said something like she wanted to learn French. Now, I don't know if that's been printed in any books. I don't know if that's been said in any historical manuals about her, but she said that she wanted to learn French and that she was laughed at by this particular husband, this narcissist. And now she's saying something again about her childhood, about her mom. She's saying that she could never understand her mom. Like, her mom was like almost like a total mystery to her. She couldn't understand the way her mother would change back and forth between happy to sad, sad to happy. She's giving me the vision of like a spinning wheel, you know, almost like a carnival ride. She never knew what was going on. She's trying to tell me right now that she doesn't believe that her mom was totally a narcissist, but did have those narcissistic traits. And she remembers begging her mother not to get mad and not to get angry at her. Again, she was really little when this was happening. Again, I get get the feeling that she may have been 3, possibly 4 years old when this was going on. Again, these are just words, feelings, and phrases that I'm getting from her. It's like she's begging her mommy, please don't get mad at me, or please, mommy, I'm sorry, something like that. And her mother was like as loud as an alarm bell. When her mother would scream, it was like, she said she felt like almost other people could hear it, like people walking down the road. It was like a clanging bell. It was loud. It was overwhelming. And there were times that she would go and she would run and hide. And now she's asking me to go back to the husband again. And she's saying something about sadness. Again, I feel like she's saying that he wanted to be the king of the castle. That's what she's saying. And that she wanted so badly for him to feel like a king, but she felt like so inadequate around him. He was famous. She's saying something about games. Baseball, football. She's saying famous games, that he was in famous games. And his picture was in the newspaper a lot. And he would hang out at bars and he would smoke cigars. And she felt like she could never quite compare to his fame. And all she wanted was romance. She did want a simple life, but she also wanted that adventure. She's giving me the mental image of a briefcase, luggage. I'm sorry, Marilyn. Luggage with lots of stamps and stickers on it. She wanted to be like a worldwide traveler. She wanted to study languages. She wanted to learn art. She wanted to write poems in every city that she went. I get a big feeling that she just had this wanderlust that she almost couldn't control. It was like, it's not an addiction. It's not an addiction. She's saying she goes, not addiction, a passion. It was a huge passion of hers to see everything that she didn't see when she was a child, because she said she came in loud and clear poverty, extreme poverty. And she said that she never wanted to go back to that situation again because it was so hard for her. It was so hard for her as a baby. And she's asking about her dad. She says she has tried to connect with him. I believe she said something about writing something to him. I don't get a feeling on why she's asking me about her dad. She said she wrote something to him and that she felt heartbroken, and that I don't know if he responded. I don't believe that he was in her life. She's showing me a vibe, a feeling, an image of like a little girl in like a cold room. Not that she's actually in a cold room, but that she felt like not being with her father was like being locked in a freezing cold room. Yeah, she definitely missed the nurturing. She missed the feeling, the comfort of having a father. I get the feeling that she needed this. She needed this man in her life to give her guidance. I'm feeling that she's saying right now that she has no hatred against him. She's not mad at him or angry with him. She just really wishes that they could connect in the afterlife. And that's the feeling that I'm getting from her, is that she still has that desire to connect with him. Okay, she says she's starting to get tired. And she did say that, okay, we're back to the lost love card. She's saying that her actual love, the one that she loved more than life itself, was the one of the two brothers that were like kings. She's not going to divulge their names. I'm sure we can all figure it out. But for this reading, again, we're, we only mentioned the first husband, James Daughtery, because they were so young. But these other people we're not mentioning because she's fiercely protective of these names. And I'm sure if we want to dig hard enough, we can figure out who the two brothers are, and we can figure out the husband. But she's saying that the love of her life was the first brother. And I feel a great sadness from her right now. She wishes that he would have gotten a divorce and been with her, because they had late night phone calls, they had secret meetings, they had romance, they had a lot of joy behind the scenes. In the quiet, I'm hearing her say shh. She's got like her fingers to her lips. She doesn't want to say anymore. So this concludes my first reading session with Miss Marilyn Monroe. And Miss Monroe, I wanted to thank you for being here tonight with me. Thank you for allowing me to speak of your life. Thank you for allowing us to discuss you and the things that you allowed me to see. You have so many fans out there, and we love you so much. Thank you for blessing us with your presence tonight. And to all of my viewers, thank you so much for being here. I love you so very much. Talk soon.